What's up everybody, we're just at my latest project right now. In today's video, we're going to actually do a bit of a Q&A session. So I've got lots of questions coming in from you guys about property developing. So the first question I get, and this always comes up, is should I buy in a limited company or should I buy in my personal name? The reality of the situation is you can do both. And if the deal stacks up, you should make profit doing either way. But the best way I personally think you should do it is through a limited company if you're doing a buy to let. If you're doing a residential purchase, then do it through your personal name, because I don't believe it's possible to actually do a residential purchase through a limited company. Correct me if I'm wrong guys, I'm no expert on tax and that type of thing. I'm just a developer, landlord, investor. But I can tell you one thing, for myself, I did a few in my personal name. My first 3 was in my personal name. I just got a little bit lazy with opening companies and that type of stuff. So I just thought, do the first 3 in my personal name and going forward, just do the rest in limited companies. So that's what I did. Obviously I do a lot of joint ventures now, JVs. They're all through limited companies. So that's definitely something what I'd advise. If you're doing a JV, definitely do it through a company. But as I said guys, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a specialist in saving money on tax. You need to speak to an accountant for that. There is certain tax breaks you can get if you do it through a limited company. Keep it simple. How to set up a company. There's a really good website called yourcompanyformations.com. If you go on there, you can actually create a company through this website and they'll take you through the whole process. So they'll take you through the name, they'll let you see what's available in terms of names, and you can just basically set up the company within 24 hours. So it's really good. So yeah, that's kind of the first question I get. Get my other questions. Another question I get is how did I get the money to buy my first property? And I'll tell you exactly how I did it. I saved up £6,000. I borrowed £6,000 on a 10% interest rate. So whoever I borrowed money from, I basically said to them, I'm going to give you back all your money plus 10%. That's what I did. And yeah, that's how I got the money to get my first property. And then obviously I refinanced, pulled out 20k, got my second, did the same kind of thing, did my third, worked with investors, doing joint ventures where I'm doing deals with people where I bring the knowledge, I bring, the finding of the deal, managing the refurb, doing all the work, and they just fund it and we split the profit 50-50. So that's how I've grown my portfolio so far. Next question I get is, hey man, what website did you buy your first house from when you started? Was it on Rightmove or Zoopla? Yes, my first deal was actually from Rightmove, and I say it was from Rightmove, it was, yeah. But I did look at about 40 properties before I bought that one. So definitely make sure you're viewing a lot. Don't just go for the first one you see. Make sure you're actually doing a lot of viewings and just making sure you get the best deal for your first one, because if you do your first one right, that's going to help you so much. Is it possible to start property developing and become a landlord without a job? Now guys, this is another interesting question that I do get. To be honest with you, it may be possible, but it's going to be extremely hard. So I definitely recommend get yourself a job. It's going to help with you getting mortgages, it's going to help you to save money for your deposits, and it's going to give you that stability which is needed. So definitely I'd advise everyone to get a job. Unless you've got a successful business or you're self-employed and you're making a lot of money that way, that's great. But you do need to think about how much you're declaring to the tax man, because if you're not declaring any income, then it's going to be hard for you to actually get mortgages. So there is a way to do it if you have loads of savings. There is some lenders which will let you get a buy-to-let mortgage if you have loads of savings and good credit and no job. So there is a few lenders that have no minimum income requirements. But in the corona pandemic, these lenders, they're getting smaller and smaller. There's not as many that will actually do that type of product. So I'd recommend to be on the safe side and just get a job. Okay, another question I get is, are HMOs difficult to manage? Now, in my experience, it all depends on the location and the type of tenants that you get. I've done it both ways, where I've had bad tenants, not crazy bad tenants, just like medium bad tenants. So I've had it where there's been domestic violence going on in one of the properties, and that was very difficult. But luckily, I was managed to actually diffuse the situation, and we didn't have to get the police involved. But it was very close to getting the police involved, and there was a girlfriend hitting a boyfriend, and it was all messy. So yeah, that's kind of the only bad experience I've had with tenants so far. I've had great experiences with all my tenants. I've had great experiences, but from now onwards, I've actually handed over all the management of the majority of my properties, there's only like 2 that I manage myself, and the rest I've actually handed over to property managers to actually manage for me, and any ones going forward, they'll be managed by property managers as well. So it's not really something I have to worry about. That's more for them to deal with. If the managers take their 10%, I get my income, my profits, and yeah, it's a win-win. So to answer the question, no, I don't think HMOs are that hard to manage if it's like a 4-bed, a 5-bed, 6-bed. I believe if you stay on top of it, you should be okay. But there is a chance you can get bad tenants, and it can be hard work. So I'd say it all depends, you know, on who you're getting in these properties. Also, how did you get your building team together? Cowboy builders are my main concerns. Amazing video, keep it up. To be honest with you, this is something I'm still doing. I'm still actually getting my team together. So my team is changing all the time. Sometimes I think, yes, I've got it. These are my guys. These guys have got my back. But then they hit you with a bill and it's like, no, I'm not. They've not got my back. You know, it's a catch-22. Sometimes I'm feeling really good about the team, sometimes I'm not. But in general, I've got all I need. I've got plasterers, kitchen person, I've got a really good painter. So my painter's just been amazing through all the projects. So just big shout out to you, Paul, and I appreciate you, mate. And yeah, I'm always involved in the team. So I work with different builders, and it just depends on each project really, so yeah. Would you say for a new property investor, rent to rent is good for getting money to go into buy to let? I will personally say that rent to rent is good if you do it right, but you just have to be super careful, because if you think about it, when you buy a property, your mortgage payment, if you're buying it for a decent price, your mortgage payment is going to be a few £100s a month, maybe 400 or something like that, or 300. So you've got to cover £300-400 a month. If you're doing a rent to rent, the rent can be 700, 800, 1,000 upwards, you know, it can get crazy. Rent to rent can be good, but I would just say be careful, because what I don't want to see is happen is someone taking on a long lease on a property and you're actually stuck in a contract where you have to pay £600-700 a month. To me, that's a lot of money, what could be a loss. Whereas if you own the property, you know, even if you are in a loss, then you only have to pay 300-400, so it's not as bad. So I just say, rent to rent does have its place. If you find a cracking deal, something really good, then definitely look at doing that deal. But I would just say, for me, I'm more attracted to buying properties, doing the BRRRR method, the refinance method. Is it possible to do the BRRRR method with residential mortgages initially? Yes, it is. My first 2, I bought them on residential mortgages. So yeah, it is possible. You can do the BRRRR method on residential mortgages, 100% yes. But just to note, if you are doing it on a residential mortgage, when you do refinance, they'll look at how much you earn and they'll basically say, right, you can only borrow X amount. So say, if it was a buy to let, you might be able to pull out 50k on the refinance, but they might only let you pull out 20k if it's on a residential, because your income is not high enough, because that's what they're looking at, your income. You know, they'll say it's not high enough, sorry, we can't actually borrow you the full 50k, we can only give you 20. Can you do another day in the life of a property developer? Yes, but what do you guys want to see? Yeah, I'm going to start recording more. So any video suggestions you've got, please just comment below. I would love to try and make them for you. I was wondering this yesterday when I was in the shower. I want to get into property, but I have no money in at the moment. I have no money coming in at the moment, okay? Well, I'd say, if you've got no money, then you need to work on getting a job and just literally securing yourself some capital, because you need to be saving up. Your first deal, you do want to have some of your own money invested, hopefully all of your own money for your first deal, and then you can start to work with investors at a later stage. Start a business, a side hustle, eBay business, whatever you need to do to make some money, do it. Save up, get the capital, obviously all legal stuff. I don't want to see any of my subscribers doing anything dodgy or illegal. In terms of sourcing the properties themselves, what commitments do you make with the vendor of the property to make the sale agreed? So the only commitment I would make is I would basically say, right, I want to buy this property. My offer is, for example, 150,000. If they accept it, then you will have a few days to actually provide your agreement in principle, and you will need to provide your name, your ID, proof of funds. So you need to provide all this information to the agent in order for them to actually stop doing viewings on the property. Because until you provided all this, they're not going to take you serious. They're going to keep on showing other people and taking other offers. So get all that in as soon as you can, and then it's sale agreed, and then it's just a case of you passing that deal on to someone else and then doing a bit of a transfer. But as I said, guys, I don't do property sourcing full time. It's not something what I'm really focused on. I'm just more trying to buy properties. So is the demand okay right now with COVID-19? Yeah, it is. I'm finding the demand to be exactly the same. When the first lockdown hit, I had 2 tenants move back to India. So I had 2 Indian tenants. They both moved back to India. But in this second wave of lockdown, I think I've only got 1 room which is coming available, but all of the other properties and rooms, they're all full. So it's not really affecting me. The house prices where I live are so expensive, it's gonna be impossible to even get on the ladder. I wish I could get a mortgage, but I have a CCJ. My credit score is so bad. Guys, if that is you, that's going to the giant one. That's his YouTube name, the giant one. I wish I could get a mortgage, but I have a CCJ, so my credit score is so bad. Mate, all I can say is keep working on your credit score, you know, just try and improve your credit score. You can actually go online and type in how to improve your credit score, and there's lots of information on Google and online on how you can increase your score. So definitely check that out, and maybe I should do a video on that as well, how to increase your credit score. Nice trim, mate. Who's your barber? Honestly, I've got 2 barbers. Love them both. Am I cheating on my barber? Yes. Am I too time on my barbers? Yes, but you know what? It's all good. Can you aim to get a video out once per week? Yes, that is the aim. Guys, I'll be honest with you. My focus is the deals, but I'm also trying to help as much as I can, because I'm a firm believer, if you help people, it all comes back to you. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make as many videos as I can and try and do 1 or 2 per week. So hold me to that, guys. That's what I'm gonna do, at least 1 per week. And any video ideas, please put them in the comments, because I would love to hear what you guys want to see. Well guys, hope that's helped. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I much appreciate you all.